Thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis. Well, let's get right over to meteorologist Thomas Patrick, because Thomas, you really have the news everybody wants to know, and that's how's the weather going to be this weekend?
Well, that has been the case all this week, it seems, with the beautiful weather in place and staying here. Once again, no change to our forecast. This is a couple minutes past sunrise, I think by about 5 minutes now. So you might just be able to see that orange sun peeking over the eastern horizon, though it looks a little bit hazy over downtown Spokane. I'm not surprised by that, but there is a little bit of some light cloud cover that is moving in overhead. Our temperatures, however, very, very mild for this hour of the morning. 55 in Coeur d'Alene, even 50 in Deer Park, which can at times, especially this time of year, be well into the 30s. So we are very much enjoying some more mild conditions, a little bit of light cloud moving in overhead, but not really disturbing us for our forecast. Instead, I would call this more so filtered sunshine than just outright mostly cloudy conditions. As you see, our temperatures will still pop into the upper 70s for today, but probably will be just shy of 80 for this afternoon.
They take over boards, they've taken over school boards, hospital boards, library boards. This is happening across the country.
This morning, we are hearing from the former director of the Boundary County Library. She's speaking out about the harassments and threats that she's faced and telling more about what pushed her to resign. Kimber Glidden resigned from the Boundary County Library in August. She'd been holding that position for less than a year when she resigned. Glidden spoke at the downtown Spokane Library just last night, and she recounted several times where people confronted her about material in the library, saying that the books were explicit and pornographic. Glidden says that the books that they were talking about weren't even in the library's collection. People would show up to the library and to board meetings with guns, claiming that Glidden had an agenda and was harming kids.
Having access to information is not dangerous. Not having access to information or restricted access, that's what tyranny does.
Glidden says someone is bringing a tort claim against her. KREM 2 also learned that the Boundary County Library received a letter from their insurance company who says that they will not be reviewing their policy due to increased risk factors. Well, today, United Soccer League Spokane says that they are making a huge announcement at an event held this morning at Brick West Brewing. So KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is out there already ahead of the big event. So Nicole, I know we're still hours away from this announcement, but what do people need to know if they would like to attend?
So in just a few hours, USL Spokane is going to be right here at Brick West Brewing in downtown Spokane, but we actually don't know what they're going to be announcing. Take a look at this tweet though. USL Spokane posted this on Twitter earlier this week. It says, quote, "We have two special announcements you won't want to miss. There will also be food trucks, cold beer, swag, and raffle prizes. The event starts at 11:30 this morning and tickets are $20. They will also be watching the #1 in the world United States women's national soccer team play England, who is #5 in the world. Last October, United Soccer League Spokane held similar events. During those, they asked fans and community members for their opinions on the design and creation of the city's new professional soccer teams. As of this morning, the men's and women's teams still do not have a name, color, or crest quite yet. Right now, though, we do know that the women's elites teams will start playing in the new downtown stadium in 2023 or 2024, depending on when construction on the new stadium wraps up. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Well, Spokane police have arrested 5 teenagers in connection to a fatal shooting that happened at Franklin Park back in August. Police arrested Landon Galbraith, Malachi Cook, and Nigel Neal. All of them are 18 years old and charged with second-degree murder and assault. Police also arrested 18-year-old Tiana Allen for rendering criminal assistance and another unnamed underage person for unlawful possession of a firearm. This morning, we have learned that 150 residents of the homeless encampment near I-90 have moved out. On Thursday, the Spokane Homeless Coalition invited community members into the camp to see how much progress is being made to get people into better housing options. Local leaders there are working with the state to get everyone living there an ID card, birth certificate, and social security card. Not having those documents is often one of the biggest barriers keeping people from finding permanent housing.
Most people think that we're telling people not to go to shelters. We're driving people to shelters. We will take people to any situation that makes it better for them.
Well, Jules Helping Hand says that it is aware of Sheriff Ozzie Knezevich's deadline to come in and sweep the encampment. But they say they are continuing to get people into better situations instead of just forcing them from one spot into another.
We have a coalition of 200 different organizations, as well as 1,300 to 1,400 members. So I mean, it's a pretty expanded community that is driven to provide support, but it just makes it so hard when everything's scattered and polarized, and so we're definitely trying to help with diffusing that narrative.
The camp is also now enforcing a nightly curfew that starts at 8 p.m. But starting next week, everyone staying there will also be required to have a badge or they will not be allowed through the gate. A health alert for you this morning. Panhandle Health District is investigating the first confirmed case of monkeypox in its area. The health district is now working with the CDC to ensure that the patient is treated. According to the health district, the patient may have contracted the virus outside of North Idaho. Now, this is the 15th case of monkeypox in the entire state of Idaho. KREM 2's Football Fridays is back, and sports director Travis Green is breaking down some of the biggest games we'll be covering tonight across the inland Northwest.
Good morning, everybody. We're back with another KREM 2 Football Friday tonight. Here's a look at the games we'll be at. Our game of the week out in Post Falls, the 4-2 Trojans hosting the 5-1 Lewiston Bengals. Should be a really good game. We'll be out in Welpinit for an afternoon game. Welpinit hosting ACH for a battle of two 4-1 teams. Rounding out our 8 games, Kellogg hosting an undefeated Bonners Ferry team. Some big playoff implications for Kellogg in that matchup. We'll have Wildcats head coach Dan Adividian mic'd up for our special Coached Up segment this week. Do not miss it. Also, an automatic berth into state on the line at Lakeland as Lakeland hosts Sandpoint. We'll be there. Make sure you give us a wave if you see us out at any of those games. Also, do not forget, if you have footage of a crazy play on Friday, let us know. Here's our play of the week from last Friday out at West Valley. The last play of the half, Eagles down 10-7. Ashton Zettel on the return, and watch him go to work. Open space, takes advantage, sheds off a pair of tackles, and then, oh yeah, my man ran a long play, and on top of that, he scores the touchdown and showed KREM 2 some love. We love when you do that. Zettel's big play helped West Valley to a 35-10 win over rival East Valley. KREM 2 Football Friday begins in the second half of our 11 p.m. show. Don't miss it. We'll see you then.